Hi, it's Sean, the Fluency Awesomizer. This is Decoding Multi-Syllabic Words, episode 86. I've got 4 big words I want to take a look at today. Let's get started. I want you to read these words right out loud. Ready? What's this first word? How about this one? How about this? And finally. All right, those are pretty tricky words. Were any of those tricky to read for you? Keep watching. If so, I'm going to review those words, show you some decoding strategies, and some information you might want to recall if you ever get stuck on words like those when you're reading independently. But first, a reminder of the fable, The Tortoise and the Hare. And the moral, slow and steady wins the race, which is great advice when you do get stuck on a big unfamiliar word like this one. Think of these words as races. There is a finish line. And if you read like the hare, you might want to get to that finish line as fast as you can. You'll zip through a big word like this. That's where mistakes can easily happen. But if you read like the tortoise, take it slow and steady when you come to these big words. That patience is definitely going to improve your ability to decode them. Keep it in mind. Let's practice. All right, this first word starts with the syllable part. That's an R-controlled vowel sound there that is easily confused with Pratt. That R can move around. You won't believe how often that happens. So take a look. Part versus Pratt. Part, and that would be tick. Is that tickle? Lar, there's another R-controlled vowel sound at the end of this word, larly. This is the word particularly. It's a very tricky word. Take a look at why in just a second here. It's an adjective, the root word particular, and it comes from the ancient Latin word particula, which means in Latin a little piece or a part, like a little piece of salt. That's where we get the word particle from that root. There's another Latin word, particularis, and that U, that means concerning a small part, like, very interesting, that is small. So that's where we get the word particular in English. Now, speaking of a small part, let's take a look at this U. What's going on with this U? Particular. This U says you. And to remember that, that's one of the things you need to know about the letter U. It's usually long or short, but it also says you. So I like to say, when you says you say particular. And that euler, that is a Latin root. We see it pretty often in English, like in regular. There's just a robin, pretty cool bird, but it's pretty regular compared to this peacock. Popular and binoculars and particular, which is an adjective. And to make an adjective into an adverb, you add an ly, and we get the word particularly. Not to be confused with this word. It starts with prac. Pract. There's tick again. Practic. Practically. Practically comes from the root word practical. That's an adjective. And that goes back to Latin too, ancient Latin word practicus. Practicus means active in Latin. And it also has a Greek root, practikos, in Greek, which means fit for action. So practicus in Latin, see that root there, practicus, became the word practice in English. And the practice has that silent E at the end, right? That still means, that think of active when you think of practice. Practical is another English word we get from that Latin Greek root. It means concerned with putting into practice, practical, like putting in action. Practical is an adjective, add an ly to make it an adverb. Now, most people pronounce that word practically, but the root word is practical. So with an ly, practically, you need to remember that if you ever have to spell that word, especially. All right, the third word here starts with par, R-controlled vowel sound. Part, again, easily confused with prat. There's part, prat, part. This word has part. And what's going on here? IA, that is a vowel pair that you don't see very often. And this whole syllable here is very tricky. It does not say tail. It says, well, it looks like tile maybe, because it looks like dial. Is that partile? No, this is the word partially. It's very tricky. And we'll look at why in just a second here. It's an adjective. The root word is an adjective, partial. And it comes from Latin too, surprise. Partialis in Latin is pronounced part. The part is part of that word, and that's where we get the word part, meaning a piece. Partialis is pronounced partialis. And that T-I-A-L Latin root carried over to English. But the thing is, we don't pronounce it partial. We pronounce it partial or partial, depending on how you learned. So partial is an adjective, still means the same thing, part or a piece of. And put an ly, and you've got the adverb partially. Partially. And the last word here starts with an R-controlled vowel sound. Per. That looks like it should be per. And that, wait a minute, that looks like pirate. Is this piratical? There's ratical. Piratical. Yeah, I don't know if you see that word very often, but it's used in pirate talk. It's an adjective, and it has anything to do with pirates. That's the root word pirate. That word originally comes from Greek, pirates. I believe it's pronounced pirates. That's where we get the word pirate in English. And that silent E at the end of pirate, we're going to add the Latin root I-C-A-L, ical, to the end to make the adjective piratical. And this parrot is piratical. So anything having to do with pirates. Piratical. All right, we're going to end here with a passage I've written to practice fluency. You ready? I want you to hit pause. I'm about to show it to you. And I want you to read it out loud to whoever you're with. Ready? Hit pause and read this out loud. All right, that's going to do it for today. Subscribe to my YouTube channel or follow me on Facebook for more decoding videos like this one. Tell a friend or family member or even a teacher about me. And you can go to my Facebook page. There's a photo album full of passages like the one I just showed you that I've written that help you practice decoding those big words and to awesomize your fluency. Hope you found the video helpful. Come back and see me soon. Bye.